Ministravaganza. Things have had a chance to settle, and the internet's lost its mind. And let's kind of go through everything that went down, and I'll just give you my thoughts. Not that they really mean anything, but everybody else is giving them, so I felt I might as well contribute to the conversation. We're going to start out with and just kind of go through the two transmissions that AMG put out. This first one is we're going to just look at the models that were previewed, which normally would be the most exciting part of any reveal or AMG live stream, but as we'll kind of talk about later, this is kind of the least exciting part of the entire Ministravaganza. So first up, we've got a set of iron suits along with Kang the Conqueror, and I love these sculpts. I'm a big fan of iron suits. Um, these will, I think, be pre-orders for me. Um, I love that they're getting some love here, and we've got some base sizes, and as we'll see on their cards, we've got some threat differential that makes them, I think, very splashable in a whole lot of different affiliations. Um, First up, we've got Iron Lad, Nathaniel Richards. Okay, um, we can look a little bit closer at his card. He is a 3 threat model, which makes him very splashable immediately. Uh, Pretty basic stats, decent health on both sides. Um, he has uh, the ability to pass out conditions on his builder, push on his gainer, um, and he's even got uh, some damage removal. He's got a terrain throw, which matters more than it did uh, before Ministravaganza, since it's a size 2 throw. Um, and he's got some dice mods. Um, I think Iron Lad is going to be a very solid character in the game. I don't know that you'll see him everywhere, but one place that I do see him because he has a lot of 2 power cost superpowers is under Steve 1 Avengers. Um, that makes his entire suite of powers more affordable, can make his power economy a whole lot better, um, and he is only 3 threat. So, moving on, uh, Ironmonger, Obadiah Stane. I love this model. Um, it's a 3 threat model on a large base. Let that sink in. This is a huge model. It's a slow mover. He's got some DR but not the good kind. It's to a minimum of 1. He's got a place, and kind of like Iron Lad, since he's 3 threat, he could go a lot of places. He's size 4. I think he'd be great in like a Kingpin Crims, because good luck moving him, and he's counting for 2. Uh, Kang the Conqueror model looks great. He's coming out of like a time portal warp. And we didn't get his character card, but we did get a couple of team tactics cards, which are just a wall of text. And I'm not really sure how good or bad they are. I think we're going to have to wait and kind of see Kang's character card, and um, I think these tactics cards are going to take a lot of reps. I think they're going to take a lot of reps to figure out. One thing I do like though is that AMG is using the scoreboard and the round tracker as part of these team tactics cards, which is a really interesting design space to me. Really using every part of the game now. Uh, so that could be really cool. Now, I will admit, I look at everything through the lens of what'll help my web warriors, and Pepper Potts is going to be slam dunked into every webs roster I build. She's only 3 threat. She's a medium mover with flight, and every single thing on her card is based around healing allied characters. Um, and I just, what's really annoying? All of my webs with their spider sense rerolls being healed back up after you've done 3 damage to them. Okay. I think Rescue is going to be the most splashed character in that entire set. Just because healing is such a premium ability, and outside of tactics cards, it's very rare. But that is her whole thing. Um, really excited to see these. Um, Moving on, my original affiliation, Guardians of the Galaxy, are getting some love with Adam Warlock, Moondragon, and Quasar. Okay, all three of these sculpts look incredible. Um, I, these are all purchases in the future. Um, so we got to look at Adam Warlock's character card, and he is 7 threat. Uh, they've said he's a new leader for the Guardians, and it's not on his character card, so it must be a tactics card leadership or a misprint of his character card, but I don't think it's that because there's a bunch of stuff on there and there wouldn't be room for leadership. But he does bring a new mechanic called the Bonded Soul Gem. It costs him, it adds 0 threat to his cost. When a non-grunt character is dazed or KO'd, Adam Warlock can gain a power, remove a damage, or remove a special condition, which with APOC and other condition givers so rampant currently in the game, that's very handy, especially for a 7 threat like Adam Warlock, that you need a 7 threat to do work for you. Um, Additionally, him and other allies within 4 can't lose a power as a result of enemy effects. So your power saps, your mutant absorptions, um, you know, anything where a character steals power and then gains power from it uh, doesn't happen. So you can pretty reliably uh, know what your team's power economy is going to be. As long as Adam Warlock is kind of in the center and everybody else is in orbit around him. This is a very gladiator-esque pose, which seems fitting for somebody of his strength and kind of power level. Um, he's got some really neat abilities. He is kind of, they said, the anti-Thanos. So he is about life, not death. Interestingly, he has his own sap power, so in the mirror match, that could be very interesting. Um, but he has a pretty strong builder at range 3 with 6 dice. I think Mighty Thor would, or not Mighty Thor, Midgard Thor, would love to have that range 3 on his builder back. He's got a Mystic Spender for only 5 power with an automatic throw um, and a heal built in, which is really cool. Um, a range 2 place, which on a small base may not be that huge of a deal, but sometimes it can make the difference between securing and not securing an objective and getting points to win the game. Let's see. He's kind of got the Doctor Strange add dice within range 4 for 2 power. He's got damage reduction, the good kind, so he can reduce to 0 innately. And he can carry 2 Infinity Gems rather than the allowed 1. He also has that Peerless keyword that we haven't seen too much in the game yet, but I think we're going to see more of that going forward. It's a cool character. I kind of want to see what his leadership ability is, but I see no reason not to take the Bonded Soul Gem every single time. Right now, he's the only one that can take it. It doesn't cost him any threat. And he can still carry another Infinity Gem if you need him to. Although, once you get him into the 8 threat range, that may not be a good return on investment. We'll just have to wait and see what play patterns emerge. Okay. I am not much of an Asgard player. I splash their characters, but I don't play that faction. past their affiliation. But Valkyrie and Elendil and the Warriors 3 may get me too. The model sculpts are absolutely sick. Really look really look forward to painting this version of Valkyrie. Um, she's got a lot going on, uh, but only a 4 threat. Okay, um, she does. She can move opponent. She can move allies. Excuse me. With her 2 cost need a lift, which she has from round 1 moving forward. Um, I think it was across the Bifrost that they brought up. Um, you know, that might get Midgard Thor up to the midline where he can threaten it. And, that's very helpful for 10 threat investment. Um, let's see, she's got a place, range 2 place. It's always super helpful. Um, she is Asgardian, so she gets 1 additional power every power phase. Uh, let's see, anytime an ally is dazed, uh, non grunt, she gains a power and can remove a damage or special condition. Ooh, that's spicy. Um, so at least some good is coming from uh, your team getting dazed. Let's see. Oh, she can add 3 dice to her gainer and make it 7 dice at range 3 if she's advanced or been placed. So if she just has 1 power, she can place range 2 and then range 3. She's hitting you 7 dice plus maybe 5. Okay. Um, especially if she hits the wild. Um, all in all, I think a really cool character. I know a lot of people are very excited for those releases. Um, let's see, the Sentinels got some major changes to both their own, let's see, to Sentinel Prime and just the regular Sentinel Mark IV. Their defenses were changed. Let's see. Uh, their injured sides were made better. We'll talk about them when we get to the character updates. Um, I really love these models. I haven't really had any interest in Sentinels, but I think these 3 will push me over the edge to actually try to play that faction and get the Mark IVs and Sentinel Prime when they repackage them, because those models are just impressive to have on the table and can really get attention of people in the game shop to come see what you're playing. Um, these are 2 very big changes to the game. Again, I love the design space that they're working in right now. They introduced a new secure and extract type, source extracts. Essentially, you pick them up and they disappear after you score VPs and then go back. So you kind of have to keep picking them up. So the old strategy of grab an extract and just run away, not as viable if that's the one that gets drawn. Um, as well as secures that not all of them are scoring every turn. Um, a Will Schick mentioned in the Ministrav that he was really trying. They were really trying as a team to make things not so rote, make things a little less predictable, a lot more dynamic, I think. And I think these 2 extracts and the design space that they're in are really a great way to do that. Also, the Prime Sentinels, those models look sick, and just lower threat options to make Sentinels affiliation. We got 3 Gamma characters, although Red Hulk is said to have the leadership, which makes me think it's going to be Thunderbolts and not something Gamma related. But again, I love Hulks, so the more we've got, the better. Interested to see what they do. Okay, Onslaught, cool character, cool model. And then some weirdos. These are deep cuts in the Marvel milieu. We've got Blackheart, Jack O' Lantern, and the Orb. Nothing else to really say about them right now, except, goodness, I did not have these three getting models on my bingo card before the first family of Marvel and Doctor Doom. I really feel for all of you that are looking forward to the Fantastic Four being in the game. Um, I just don't know if that's ever going to happen now. Um, then we got six new um, Avengers characters. We've got America Chavez, Kate Bishop, Patriot. Okay, are three new Avengers characters. And they also revealed. We'll see if we can see them anywhere here. No. Okay. But we also saw some more pictures of Jubilee, Havoc, and all of them. So exciting times, but I think the model previews were kind of the least exciting part of the whole presentation. Uh, because also during this presentation, they had a huge rules update. And to begin with, I think these rule changes really are kind of akin to an addition change in other war games. Um, they're that drastic. They're that huge. Okay. Here's just a closer look at those two new crises that are immediately legal and playable. Um, let's see. Um, yeah, these introduce the source extracts and the point of interest secures. That will change depending on the dice you roll. Um, we also got a slew of updated cards. The team tactics cards, like they say here, they were all just updated for clarity, because the writing language that they've used for rules has evolved over time. Um, let's see, Cassandra Nova, she got a stamina bump. Cassandra Nova. Uh, Cassandra also got a slight change to mind possession with a short advance instead of the speed. Decrease some of the superpowers. Um, just looking like they're trying to make Cassandra more playable as a Sentinels character for 5 threat, uh, because it was really hard to play Cassandra Nova. You didn't really get much for that 5 threat. Um, Mark 4s, they got 4 physical defense. Um, let's see, Sentinel programming was updated so allies can push and advance them. Uh, a new innate superpower was added, which I think is really cool. If they end up overlapping a terrain feature that's size 2 or less, um, that terrain feature gets destroyed. It crushes it. Okay. Um, I think the Sentinels are kind of poised now, um, to be a very popular and very um, not at the bottom affiliation anymore, especially once the new models get released. Um, for one, Prime's leadership now works for the entire game and not just when enemy characters are dazed. Um, it used to be just when they're dazed and not when they were KO'd, so once you dazed a lot of models, his leadership was not very useful. Um, let's see. Yeah, just more updates. Dormammu got an update to his leadership. The damage now happens in the cleanup phase instead of the power phase, so you have a chance to burn off some of that power before you take damage, kind of like Bishop. Uh, let's see, his triggers on Shadow Bolt were changed to failures. which, since he counts those as successes, that is a huge buff. Okay. Let's see. Master of the Realm of Darkness. Let's see. When another allied character is damaged by an enemy effect or flames, additionally, when attacking at the end of the modified dice step, add one skull result to this character's roll for each skull in the defense roll. When attacking, this character adds skull results in its roll to its total successes. Okay, so your opponent's failures become your successes, and also trigger on your very nice range 4 builder, um, or not builder, your range 4 attack that can sap power. So huge stocks on Dormammu. They were already kind of a big deal. Black 3 threat Widow, she just got a stamina bump. I guess that helps. I've never used her. I know people have. I just haven't yet. Stamina bumps are always good. This game's evolved into a really killy game, so some of these older characters needed a little bit of a stamina bump. Hawkeye got a stamina bump. He went from 9 overall health to 11. I would have liked to have seen his energy defense go up to maybe 3. But, you know, beggars can't be choosers. He's sitting at the back anyway, so a little bit more stamina is not a bad thing. Okay. Nick Fury Jr. has 13 health now. That is amazing. He is going to be a terror, I think. He's very splashable as is because he's a 4 threat and he brings extract grunts with built-in mission objective. But now he's got 7 and 6 stamina. He's sticking around now, a little bit better than he was before, because he does have defensive rerolls as long as he's within range 3 of his shield agents, which he should always be. And if you put him in an affiliation that has defensive rerolls, he becomes even more obnoxious. I kind of expect to see him a whole lot more. I know I'll be putting him in a whole lot more. They also cleaned up the language on the shield agents to be extracts instead of civilian or asset. Now that they've added the source version. Let's see. Emma Frost got some updates. I don't I don't play her a ton, so I can't really comment on how good, bad, indifferent these changes are. I will say I'm a big fan of all the updated artwork for all of these characters. They look fantastic. Emma's still got her you can't use reactives when she is activated. They did make it a little bit easier to transform between normal and diamond. Okay. Reduce some of the power cost of her diamond form attacks. Some big deals there. Professor X got a bump on his injured side, so maybe he can stick around a little bit longer. Psylocke got a boost in her stamina, going from 5 to 6, which with her built-in rerolls and martial artist, she's a tough character now. She's going to be hard to remove from the board. Apocalypse loves this update to her. You may see her more in there. You may see more of her in X-Men, in X-Force. You may see her splashed more. If you need a psychic brawly character with some staying power, Psylocke may be your choice. She is going to stick around. Peter Quill got a little stamina bump. He's a little bit tougher now. That's fantastic. Okay. He was always kind of felt like a little bit of paper So seeing him get a stamina bump's always good. Interestingly, Yondu got a stamina bump. This character hasn't even been out a year, so excuse me, him getting a stamina bump is interesting to me. Um, I kind of felt like he was okay at 11 health. Uh, but in addition to all these character updates, there were also some changes to the rules of the game. Okay, some changes to how this game is played. Let me find them real quick. Kang is there instead of Red Skull. Um, okay. So here are the big rules changes. Okay. Um, let's see. The first one I want to talk about is determining priority. There's now two roles for priority. One is gives you the opportunity to randomly select from your crisis pool, and the other is for first turn. Uh, this is huge. I don't think that can be understated. I don't think it can be overstated. Excuse me. Not knowing if you have first turn fundamentally changes how you select your squad, how you deploy, and makes turn zero way more dynamic than it has been. And I love this. There were a lot of affiliations and teams that had kind of predetermined turn zeros and then turn ones because of threat level and priority, and this shakes it up in a big way. Now, additionally to that, instead of bringing 6 crisis, you're going to bring 10. 5 extracts, 5 secures. And after you determine priority, you get to pick which crisis pile you want to go through. You pick 2 at random, and your opponent chooses one of them, and then you do the same for them. Okay, so it gives the player without priority some agency there. Um, I think you can basically just, from a roster building perspective, kind of tune it so you know exactly what you're not going to face. And when they were talking about expanding the number of crises you took and all that, I was waiting for because I'm so used to it, just the bloat of, well, now you can bring more tactics cards and characters too. But I'm glad they didn't. I'm glad they didn't do that. I think that would have gone against the philosophy of you've got to be more adaptable. Um, let's see. Yep. After deployment, you make another priority roll to see who will have first turn. Uh, this one didn't get talked about a lot, but I think it's a big deal. Okay, beams and area attacks don't damage your allied characters anymore. Um, let's see, and the one that has put the internet ablaze. Every single time you dodge, you're going to block 3 incoming damage, regardless of the size of the object being thrown. You can throw a size 4, you can throw a size 1. It's all going to be 3 damage. There are clearly some winners and losers to this. I think if you have kind of built your strategy around throwing size 4s into their own team as kind of a bowling ball, you may feel a little salty about this. I think if you have been running a whole lot of size 2 throws, you kind of feel good about it. Or if you have a variable power cost throw like Cable, and you can chunk a size 1 at somebody, and they have to block 3 damage, that changes the calculus. Okay, that changes like those characters' power economy. You may you may use that throw more. Um, for my web warriors, knowing I only have to block 3 with my rerolls and everything makes the math a little bit better for me. And I think very importantly, it doesn't make brace mandatory. I built a roster today, and I didn't take brace. I took fallback and indom instead. I know there's kind of been a movement in discussion around how do you bring brace every game? Do you not? What's the deal? I think now that's a real question you have to ask. Do I even bring it in my roster? If I've got a whole bunch of dodging rerolls like I do with my web warriors, probably not, because the math is okay if I'm only having to block 3. Um, with my mostly 3 to 4 physical defense characters with rerolls, I think we're okay. Um, overall, I think all of these changes have really reinvigorated the game of MCP. I'm really looking forward to see what the community comes up with, what gets played, how the game changes in practice. Because we can theory craft all we want, but until we actually get some games in with these new rules, we don't really know. So it'll be fun to see how the game changes. What are you looking forward to most of all? Throw it down in the comments below. Till next time, Excelsior.